Hmm. Yeah. Look at you, sitting there, quiet, still, waiting. Waiting for permission, waiting for direction, waiting for someone else to tell you who you are and what you're allowed to feel. Funny thing is, you don't even notice it anymore, do you? That waiting. It's become comfortable. That's the real tragedy. You see, there's something oddly impressive about how much a human being can endure. How much disrespect. How much pressure. How much silent humiliation. People love to brag about being strong, resilient, built different. But let's be honest, most people don't resist. They absorb. They take the hit, then another, and then, oh, they smile. Yeah, they smile while bleeding internally. Why? Because that's what they were trained to do. Society doesn't reward resistance. It rewards compliance. Be quiet. Be polite. Be grateful. Take what you're given, even if it's crumbs. Especially if it's crumbs. They don't want warriors. They want well-behaved victims. Oh, they'll tell you they care. They'll post the slogans, share the quotes, pretend they're on your side. But the moment you stop playing along, the moment you speak with a spine, the moment you say no, that ends here. Watch how fast they disappear. Silence. Suddenly, you're too much, too intense, too difficult. Funny, isn't it? They loved you when you were quiet. They praised you when you suffered silently. They clapped when you swallowed disrespect. But the second you stood up for yourself, oh, now you're the problem. They didn't expect that. No, they never expected that. They thought you'd stay small, stay manageable, stay predictable. A good little punching bag. They thought you'd keep your head down and your mouth shut. They thought you'd confuse endurance with strength. They were wrong. Because something happened. Something subtle. Something dangerous. One day, you woke up. Not angry, not loud, just clear. You realized something that changes everything. I'm not here just to survive. That thought, that's where the shift begins. Because survival is what they want for you. Bare minimum existence. Just enough oxygen to keep working, obeying, complying. But living, real living, that scares them. Living means boundaries. Living means standards. Living means you don't accept abuse disguised as normal. Living means you don't let people treat you like furniture, something to lean on, step over, or discard. So when you finally looked up, when your hands were shaking but your voice didn't, and you said, "No more." Oh, that's when their world cracked. They didn't recognize you anymore, because in their minds, you were already broken. already tamed, already defeated. They thought they had reduced you to something harmless. But here's the part they never understand. Every attempt to break you was sharpening you. Yeah, every insult carved precision, every humiliation built awareness, every betrayal stripped illusions. Pain didn't destroy you. Pain educated you. Most people think pain is a dead end, a collapse, a defeat. But pain, real pain, is a forge. And you stayed in the fire long enough to change shape. You learned how much you could take. And more importantly, you learned what you would no longer accept. That's power. Because once you realize you can survive the worst, fear loses its grip. And that's when you become dangerous. Not loud, not chaotic, calm, focused, unshakable. They thought every blow weakened you, but all it did was strip away hesitation. They thought silence meant submission, but it was patience. Oh, they hate that part. They hate realizing you were never powerless. You were just waiting. Waiting for clarity. Waiting for self-respect to outweigh fear. And now you're standing. And they don't know what to do with that. Look closely. You'll see it in their eyes. They're not confident anymore. They're not mocking anymore. They're uneasy. Because nothing terrifies manipulators more than someone who no longer reacts. Bullies feed on emotion. Abusers survive on control. Manipulators breathe through your doubt. But the moment you stop playing their game, the moment you stop explaining yourself, the moment you look at them without hatred, without fear, they feel it. The power shift. Because here's the truth they never want you to learn. They never had power over you. They only borrowed it. From your silence, from your empathy, from your hope that they'd change. And once you take that back, it's over. They crumble quietly, not because you attacked them, but because you withdrew access. That's the irony. They thought strength was domination. But strength is independence. They thought control made them untouchable. But control only works on those who care. And you stopped caring. Not in a bitter way, not in a vengeful way, in a free way. And that's why they're scared. Because bullies are loud, but fragile. Abusers are aggressive, but hollow. Manipulators are confident, but empty. They need participation, and you walked away with your dignity intact. Society will tell you standing up makes you cruel, that boundaries make you selfish, that silence is peace. Don't believe it. Peace without self-respect is just quiet suffering. Standing up for yourself isn't violence, it's alignment. It's you saying, my life has value, my time matters, my boundaries are real. And they hate that. Because once you realize that, you're no longer controllable. You're no longer programmable. You're sovereign. And now comes the most important part. This isn't the end. Ah, no. This is the beginning. Standing up was the first move. Walking away was the second. Now comes creation. Now you build a life where access to you is earned, not assumed. Where respect is the baseline, not a reward. Where your past no longer defines your future. You're not a victim anymore. You're not even just a survivor. You're someone who remembers what they're worth. And that is the kind of person who changes rooms just by entering them. They didn't expect this version of you. They didn't prepare for clarity. They didn't plan for self-respect. But it's too late now, because you're awake. And once someone wakes up, they never go back to sleep. Yeah, that's the greatest power of all.